Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and the cons of using social media as a therapist to grow your personal brand or business. Now, I have been thinking about making this video for a while as I now have more experience putting myself out there on YouTube. And I think it can be quite overwhelming, whether you are currently a therapist or you're thinking about being a therapist, or maybe you're in grad school, to see those therapists on social media that have like close to 1 million followers. It really can be a whole business within itself. So I'm going to be talking about not just the therapy influencer side of things, but also just people who want to use social media to market their private practice. So if that sounds like something that would be helpful to you and you want the inside scoop on my opinion, and bonus at the end, I'm going to talk about some workarounds if social media is not the route you want to take to grow your practice, because by all means, it is not for everyone. Hi, my name is Alyssa Powers, and I created this YouTube channel to teach you the things that grad school didn't so you can thrive as a mental health practitioner. If you like this kind of content, I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe. It helps my channel so much. All right, let's get right into social media. Now, I'm going to be talking about Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube because for me, those are the social medias I have the most experience with. I know there's probably some others that I'm not thinking of. Like, I know Facebook could probably be a big thing, but I have not been on Facebook since I was in high school, so I don't know a lot about what's happening on there with therapists. So just a little disclaimer that I know this is not comprehensive, but I think the biggest place I see therapists hanging out is Instagram. Ironically, I do not have an Instagram right now that's attached to this channel. That's something I want to do at some point, but I have had Instagrams in the past. I actually used to have an SEO for a therapist Instagram called Creative Practice Building, and it was during the pandemic that I started it, and I really enjoyed making that content, and it seemed like a lot of people also enjoyed following along. That was when I was building my website, but Instagram has a lot of new features, so you have to basically be willing to put yourself on video and stories and reels. You can't really expect posts to do much for you these days. It's not like how it was when we used to, just take a picture of our lunch and say hashtag foodie or something like that, and all of our friends would see it. It's definitely more competitive now, but I think it's a great place actually, and maybe the number one place if you're thinking about starting on social media that I would say you could go to, because lots of therapists are on there. A lot of therapists are willing to follow and support other therapists, and there's just great resources on there. Like if you're building your private practice, there are accounts that can help you do that. If you're interested in learning about SEO, if you're interested in taking a certain course or mastermind, it can just be a good place to go. So I think Instagram might be one of the easier places, and I'm just talking about getting a community going and kind of getting your name out there a little bit. I do think if you are using Instagram to market, to get clients, then using hashtags for me, it would be like Cleveland therapist, Northeast Ohio therapist, Akron therapist. And then people will use hashtags to search for a therapist and see if they vibe with your account and your business. So that's a little tip there. I do like that, that works. I have never gotten clients in that way. Personally, I didn't want to go that route. It felt like a lot of upkeep, because for your social media to be relevant, the downside is you have to be really consistent, especially on Instagram and TikTok. So that brings me to the next app I want to talk about, which is TikTok. If you are on TikTok, it's a lot of fun. The downside is that you need to post a ton to get seen. So when people are starting TikTok accounts, they say that you need to post anywhere from 3 to 5 times a day. That is not something I would ever be willing to put my time into. I personally do see some therapist content on there, but most of the time it is not very relevant to me. Like, I have never seen a local therapist in my area on TikTok ever. I have only really seen people that are either saying really controversial things as therapists on TikTok, or they are just people I've interacted with, like, you know, viewed other videos and now it's being served to me through the algorithm. So I think TikTok could be a great place if you are making a lot of Instagram reels and you want to repurpose them and just put it out there and see who's going to see it. But I think that algorithm might be the trickiest to break into, especially just as a business, because that's not really what it's for. Of course, there are businesses that have built their brand completely on TikTok, like slime shops and things like that, but I don't really see people using it as much to find service-based industry people. So I would just keep that in mind, but I do think TikTok could be really fun, especially if you have maybe an interesting niche or something to say that is like entertainment based. I definitely feel like TikTok leans more entertainment versus educational. I think Instagram has a lot more educational content. And then lastly, I want to talk about my favorite platform, which you might guess is YouTube. I love it here. I wish I would have created this channel so much sooner. I have been watching YouTube for such a long time. I really have never been hugely into like TV and movies, but I've had YouTubers that I've watched for like the past 10 years. So I really love this platform, and there are some very unique aspects to it that are completely different than Instagram and TikTok. So the number one thing I love about YouTube is that if you make evergreen content, meaning content that is being searched on Google or YouTube, which Google owns YouTube, so it's all interconnected, then people will find your video, and if it's high quality, they will watch it. I know the video that I think has done the best for me on my channel is about how much money therapists make, and people search for that on Google, they search for that on YouTube, they find my video, and then if they like that video, they subscribe. So that has basically built my channel, those few videos that were very highly searchable. So like my test prep videos, my videos comparing social work to LPC, MFT to LPC, things that people are really looking for. And it doesn't have to be, obviously my channel is for therapists. I'm not catering to finding clients for my practice, and I'm not really even catering to just like the everyday person. I have a very specific person that I am looking to have follow me, and that is either a therapist in training, someone who's curious about, you know, going to grad school, or someone who is already a therapist. So I have found it to be quite easy to grow, and the other great thing is you only have to post once a week for the algorithm to like you. It's not going to completely dox you and make you go away if you're posting multiple times a day. Of course, I'm sure if I posted twice a week, that would probably do double the, work in terms of getting subscribers and view time and all of that. But I love it here. It's cozy, it's calm, it's fun to interact with people in the comments. And I just think that if you are someone who has maybe a really interesting niche or specialty, or just something you're passionate about educating other people about, you can just make a YouTube video so easily. I think it stops so many people because they don't know where to start. But right now I am literally filming this on my phone. I have an iPhone 14. I use the front camera. I have an Octobuddy on the back of my phone. I stick it to a window. All you need for good lighting is to be in front of a natural light source, so I'm always in front of a window. I try and make sure, my dishwasher's not running, my dogs aren't barking, there's not like clocks ticking really closely nearby, and I have gotten much more confident too in projecting my voice and just kind of knowing how I like my videos to be structured. But I've never like read from a teleprompter app. I've never really fully scripted a video. I just kind of come and chat, and I don't have to do very much editing. So It's really not hard. I edit everything on iMovie that is free if you have a Mac, and I don't know if Windows computers have a version of that that's free, but that's good enough for me. I think maybe someday when I have more time and my little one is a little bit older, maybe I would like to get into better editing, because obviously like the world is my oyster with that. I could definitely edit these videos so much more, but neither here nor there. So I think it's a good place to start. I would not be afraid to do it. I seriously should have done this years ago. I've had this channel for about 2 years, and my whole idea behind it was like, okay, I'm gonna have a baby. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep working with my clients. I wanna do something on the side that could potentially make money, could kind of mesh the things I love, which is like helping therapists not burn out, and also education, because I was an education major for my undergrad. So lots of things to come with all those different passions that I have, but I don't want to make this video too long. But know that YouTube is a wonderful place to start. You can get clients very naturally. I have not had to like promote this anywhere. I don't even have an Instagram yet. I don't have any other social following that is like feeding into this. Okay, so I did promise you a little bonus tip for those of you that are not interested in using social media to build your personal brand, to build a private practice. I think your next line of defense then would be doing SEO. So SEO is basically how you build your website to show up on Google. So doing SEO work and getting good Google reviews can go incredibly far. That's actually how I built my entire private practice, which has mostly self-pay clients. I work with all ideal clients, and I've had no issue getting clients. It has worked wonders. And the great thing about SEO is you pretty much do it one time and it's done. You don't have to like keep doing maintenance to it again and again and again. So while things are changing with AI and all of that, I will say it's much easier to sustain SEO work than to rely on social media, because one, we don't own our social media accounts unless you have like an email list or your own website. You know, Instagram or TikTok could shut down tomorrow, even YouTube. So you don't want to build that and then have it be taken away from you. But I do think SEO is a great place to start. I have seen personally how helpful it can be, and social media is not for everyone. I'm kind of still in shock that I'm putting myself out there on the internet week after week like this, but like I said, I really like it, and I have so much more in store for you guys in the future. All right, well, if you found this video helpful, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It helps me so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.